so you can see more. So yes, place it like that on the garment, and we're gonna get all the moisture out. It's at 298 degrees, which is perfect. Make sure it's somewhat aligned on our heater, and I'm gonna close it off now. Alright, so once we get all the moisturizer out, just give it a few seconds here. Nothing crazy, nothing too long. You don't want to extend it and take it off like just like that. It's already at 309 degrees, so we're picking up some speed here, which is perfect. That way we don't have to waste any more time. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to give it just 1 second to cool off, make sure that it's successfully ready, and I'm going to throw on my glow-in-the-dark designs. Now, I'm doing a specific order. I have this one and I have a pink one. For some reason, the pink one, it just turned out better. So we're gonna begin with the pink one right here. We're gonna throw this on the shirt, and supposedly it's supposed to glow in the dark. I've never made these before, but we're gonna find out if they actually mean what they say. All right, perfect. Always gotta be careful to make sure you don't collect the ink on your fingers. And for today, I'm going to be using gloves. Now, why would I be using gloves? Because sometimes if you have a little sweat on your hands, a little moisturizer, or if you're doing a particular order, you don't want to get your hands on your design. So you want to make sure that, you're careful and no ink is collected from there. So no worries there. We're going to throw these on right here. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to use this pink one. I'm going to begin by cutting it out precisely. Always make sure that there's nothing underneath the machine, otherwise your house is going to burn just like mine. Alright, perfect. So yes, any gloves you can get, whatever's comfortable, nothing crazy. And we're going to cut this design, we're going to begin to cut this design as precise as possible. Now I do use cutters usually, but just with this design, if you don't have the proper tools, we're going to be using a simple scissors and using our eyes to get it as straight as possible. If you're doing this for a customer, be very careful because you don't want to mess up everything after you've done all the work. Turns out that it's, you didn't cut it straight. Just carefully cut our way through it. Perfect. Alright. Just like that. Whatever kind of design you want to present, that's the kind of shape that you're going to cut it in. But for this design, I'm just doing a simple square space. I don't know what you call it, portrait mode, landscape mode, whatever. Just as straight as possible as you can. Perfect. Now we're almost there. We just got one more box left, and then we have our design ready to hop on for the first time ever and see if it's really gonna glow. Perfect. Okay, so be very careful now. We have our design here. We have our special guests, the glow-in-the-dark guests. Now we're going to hop it on and see if it truly means what it says on the papers. Now this is my first time using this specific design, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. It could go really bad, or it could truly start glowing in the dark. So I'm going to grab my knife. You should use a knife, but if you have some nails, you're able to see more. But what you do is you peel this off very carefully. And like I said, this is a custom order, so I don't want to mess this up because, I don't want my design to have a bad look on it. It doesn't make sense, especially when it comes down to selling this. Alright, perfect. I got that little stick open. As you see, it peels off just like a sticker. So very careful, peel it off just like that. Make sure you don't rip it off. This one, I can feel it's a little more flimsy. So I'm going to make sure I don't cause any damage to it by slowly taking it right off. Let's see where we can go with this. Alright, perfect. Alright, no worries there. Alright, now it's halfway peeled. Now you can take it all off. It's pretty built in, just like that. Be very careful, make sure that it's still dripping down, and don't collide it together. Make sure that when it drops down, don't put it over each other. It's gonna ruin the ink, just like that. Kind of keep it, you put it right back, but now it's actually taken off. So now our concern is to put it on straight. That's our next goal. So as I can see this little bulge right here, I'm gonna use a flashlight instead of using. You can use measuring tools, but for this example, I'm gonna be using flashlight. So very carefully, I'm gonna locate it on. I'm gonna put it on carefully and see if it's truly gonna fit right in the middle. So this definitely helps having a little flash like this. So let's take a peek here. We're gonna line it as much as we can. Save this flashlight in 1 second. Alright, let's drop it down and let's try to get right in the middle as best as we can without using any official measuring tools whatsoever. So just like that, we dropped it down, and now let's take a peek and make sure that we're successfully hitting it right on the dots, which it appears to be that we are reaching that point. Using a flashlight definitely helps. That way you can ensure to see that, hey, this and that. See, I have a little bit of, I need to clean my thing. It leaves a little bit of leftovers, but that doesn't matter. That's going to be cleaned off really easy. Only because I've been burning through so many designs that it's time to have a little cleanup. But nevertheless, that doesn't matter. Let's make it straight, and we're going to perfectly align it, and that way we have a good product ready for that. Okay, so I'm going to lower just a little bit, just like that. Nothing too crazy, nothing significant. Alright, it appears to be right in the middle, it appears to be right in the center, but I don't know if I got it right. Let's take a peek here. It appears to be just spot on. Alright, perfect. So I'm going to go with, yes, this is right in the middle. I'm going to go with that route. And now I'm going to press it down and see if it's going to end up sticking in the ground. If it's going to end up glowing successfully. So let's take a peek here. Alright. Alright, perfect. Give or take. This looks just about right. Alright, so now we got our machine at 376 degrees, and now it's ready to rumble, to be placed on. Always make sure to check, make sure that it's straight, which it appears to be, because you don't want to have to redo your design after all that work you put in. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to successfully press it down. After running one more test just to make sure. Alright, perfect. That looks straight. There we go. Alright, perfect. Let's throw it on. They all come with these papers that they're gonna help protect the design. That way we're not burning up what we need to, and that way it can successfully actually glow. As you can see, it looks pretty good on this angle, from this point of view. Let's throw it on and see what we're able to produce from this. Sometimes it's harder to see if it's straight. Alright, this one's perfect. Alright, let's do it before anything else moves. When you put it on, make sure you kind of straighten it out a little bit. That way there's no bumps, there's no curves, and that way you're able to give it the proper design and provide it the best quality you possibly can, because that's what we're here for. So I have it closed off just like this right here. Now I'm going to close my machine on it, and I'm going to give it a good 10 seconds. Alright, give or take just about 10 seconds. You do gotta be careful. You can't mess these up. Some of them are more, you gotta be very gentle with them. And these do require a warm strip, so you take it off pretty fast here. We're gonna take it off right away. We're not gonna waste any more time. I'm gonna take it off while it's warm. All right, perfect. So it does look pretty good. No complaints so far. Looks like all the colors set pretty good. Can't complain. It looks good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give it just a few seconds to catch its breath, and then I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit to ensure that I give it the proper stretch. That way we can wash it successfully and we won't have problems there. A little water on my gloves, but no worries there. Okay, cool. Gonna give it just 1 second to dry out, and then we're gonna hop back on and see what we're able to do with it. Alright, so just 1 second to breathe. I would say it's pretty good here. Now what you want to do is you want to stretch it out. When you stretch it out, this will give it it will give it more longevity in the long run. That way you won't have issues when you wash your shirt or shirts. Just like that, you stretch it out. Carefully though, you don't want to go too crazy on this, especially with this new transfer paper that I'm using. I don't want to have any issues, so you got to be very careful. And give it a decent stretch. Make sure you give it the first layer only. That way you're not just pressing the whole shirt up apart. There we go. By the way, this shirt is for somebody who went to my concert. As you can see, they don't know they're about to receive this yet, but this is a little giveaway from my concert. So, as you can see, they are in the crowd here, and this is me performing. But nevertheless, give it some little bit of stretches here and there, and I'm gonna throw it right back on, and we'll see how we could press it down. And make sure that there's no flints, no nothing. Always your situations are always different where you're working at. Make sure that, especially if you have a cat, that there's no hair or anything like that that's being pressed down. Always try to keep the cleanest, most possible space you can have. That will go in the long run. It gets a little bit difficult when you have to make sure that everything around is clean and constantly taking off flint from your clothes. You don't want to spend too much time doing that. So now I'm going to throw this on right here, right back on, and I'm going to give it that smooth service. Perfect. So I did give it a few stretches here, nothing crazy. I'm going to close it down, and I'm going to heat it for nothing long, nothing crazy. Just a little bit of heat, I'd say 5 seconds, just to press down any ink that's remaining. Now, I do prefer to do a few more heat transfers than to let it sit in a heat transfer. It's a little bit different. Depends on what kind of materials you're using. It can have its own advantages and disadvantages. So just like that, we take it off. I'm going to slowly move it away. See if there's some vapor coming out. But there we go. We have our design sitting once again. And just like that, we do have to peel it right off the bat when it's warm, as recommended. Alright, perfect. So our colors are still intact. That is good news. We don't have to worry about that. Our colors are spectacularly sitting just like that. So we're going to give this one more go by giving it the best stretch you possibly can. That way we can ensure that we have our good quality on there presented. Alright, perfect. So you just give it 1 second to breathe. Nothing crazy. And we're going to move it around and stretch it one last time to ensure longevity for the long run. When you wash these in the machines, wash them wherever you do, you want to make sure that they last you a while. Otherwise, that would be silly. So I'm going to stretch it out one more time, just like this. but this time I'm gonna give it a good run. I'm doing it a little bit light just because it's warm, but in the long, there we go. You want to really stretch it out. This time, don't be afraid. Really go full out. Give it a good stretch. Make sure you don't break your design though, because that would be silly. Everything else looks spot on. So far this paper has been killing it, and allegedly this glows in the dark, but we're gonna find out right after we're done here. So just a couple more stretches here. Boom, boom, just like that. Move me around right here, and then we got ourselves a perfect, durable shirt with our design. One more big stretch right off the front, just the front part. Alright, perfect. Yeah, you gotta be very careful, make sure you don't crack it. Now for the strength of that I've stretched it on, it should be now good for a good minute. A good while for sure. Alright, perfect. Now the last heat transfer we're gonna give it, always shut off the machine beforehand. That way just let it rest, and we don't need that much heat to finish off. But what we do need is heat regardless. And always make sure that there's nothing underneath your machines, because you don't want to light up your house like I did. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to throw it right back on our stationary machine, just like that. And there we have it. Our last press. I'm going to put on that special paper. I believe it's called adhesive paper. Not really good with vocab. Okay, perfect. And you move it around just a little bit and make sure the design's no wrinkles in there. So make sure that you move the shirt properly. We then move around a little bit. You don't want to have any little lumps, nothing like that. No lumps. So just like that, move the lumps out the way. You don't want those. You don't want those part of your design. And make sure that our tag is hanging. Okay, cool. Now we have our design perfectly right here placed. And now we're gonna press it down. That way we can finish off with this nice glow in the dark shirt. And we can see, is this really gonna glow in the dark? Yeah, make sure that there's no weird wrinkles. Sometimes there might be. You just move around a little bit, and just like that, we clear the weird wrinkles underneath our design. I noticed that with more cotton shirts, you might find those wrinkles. Alright, last but not least, we're dropping down our last time. Now we're gonna make sure that the design paints its way into it, and we're able to see which way we're gonna go that way. Alright, perfect. So yeah, I do the last run, I do give it some time. That way we ensure that we have our design truly locked in. And now let's lift it up and see what we're dealing with. Alright, perfect. So it looks like it's been transferred over successfully. Just give it one last second. Just gonna lift it up now after it's warm. Design looks good. Can't complain. Looks beautiful. Alright, so now we're gonna give it some time to just chill out a little bit, and allegedly this is supposed to glow. So we're gonna find out if it truly does glow or not, if it's truly what they say it is. So let's let it cool down just for a second here. And while it's cooling down, I'm gonna take a look here, turn off the lights, begin to charge. To charge it, it was notified that all you do is just go like this and you give it a little charge here. So we're gonna find out if it's truly gonna be how it's displayed, how it's advertised, or if this is gonna be just a shirt with a cool design on it. So let's just give it 1 second to cool down a little bit. We'll let this thing calm down, and just a little bit longer. Cool. Alright. So yeah, always make sure that all your tools are in safe passages. You don't have any issues with that. Otherwise, you're gonna experience, you don't want to have those kind of issues. Alright, starting to look good. Perfect. Alright. So now with enough time that's been given, it looks like it's drying out now. And now we're ready for it to be charged up and present it into the light, see if it's truly gonna be glow in the dark. So I'm gonna take this off a little bit here, put it on a hanger. The paint does look really good. I mean, I can't complain. It does look really nice, and yeah, so far so good. Design looks perfect. So I'm gonna throw a hanger on here, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna last, and see if it's gonna glow. Perfect. So yes, use the hanger. Alright. And just like that, we're gonna let it dry out just for 1 second. Nothing crazy. Let it dry out. And then we're gonna charge it up and see. In the meantime, I do have another design that I'm gonna display. Just give it a few seconds here and let it charge up. If you're enjoying this video, definitely drop a subscription, drop a like, drop some comments. I do give away free shirts. My next live stream, I'm going to be just giving out free shirts, so definitely join in. I'm going to be making them. You just send me your design, and I'll make them for you for free. Alright, cool. Now, move this thing around, make sure nothing lights up. And I'm going to take a look here at this next design that I'm working with. So I printed a different layer of it, and I didn't actually like how it looked. It turned out to look a little bit blurry here. As you can see, it just seems a little bit off. It's not that focused. Something about it. But we're still gonna throw this on the design. Not to let it go to waste. But we won't do it on a premium shirt. We're just gonna do it on a white t-shirt. That way we don't throw away a shirt for nothing. So you grab these scissors and you carefully cut to your designments. For this one, since it's a little bit different, my designments for this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do a cloud version of it. I'm going to cloud myself up. I'm going to look like a cloud here. So yes, a little circle. It's a little bit of a different style. No sharp edges. We don't want any sharp edges. We'll just curve this over here. Make it more of a bubbly mood. I mean, whatever kind of creativity you have, it's endless. You could do whatever designs you want. And you can make the coolest merch ever. Nobody has ever, it's all about your creativity. You can create something nobody has, without a doubt. Alright, cool. So now I just clouded myself over to the shirt. I kind of like that. It looks pretty sick. I like that cloud edition. Cool. So we're gonna throw this on a shirt, just like as we've seen in the previous examples. I'm gonna hop on and grab a shirt real quick, right over here. Don't know, should we use a premium or should we use a? Let's see. So it's still a little bit blurry. I can still see a little bit of the blurriness, but it's definitely better. Let's hop it on a regular T-shirt. That way, it's still blurry. I'm not gonna be giving this out. I'm gonna keep this one and just use it as an example. Let you see it. I'm gonna grab the shirt here. Just a black t-shirt, whatever I can find. Let's see. Black t-shirt, whatever I can find. Got a lot of t-shirts, but that don't matter. We want to make the ones. Got some white t-shirts. Okay. Alright, why not? Why not? I'm gonna actually use the shirt. Use a white t-shirt for this one. Just t-shirt I'm wearing right now. I'm gonna throw that on. Alright, perfect. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna throw this cloud design on and see how it's just gonna look. If it's gonna look any good on a used white t-shirt. Alright, perfect. Grab these out the way. Alright, so I'm gonna begin the peel off session now. Let's take a peek at what we're dealing with here. Grab our knife. That way we're going to ensure that we're going to get a good strip off. So you're going to begin, since our machine is already heated, we don't have to heat it up, but always keep in mind that it takes some time to heat up, so you definitely want to prepare for that moment. So I'm going to grab this knife over here. I'm going to peel off this cloud design. That's actually what is going to turn out to look better than I expected. Our other shirt is hanging up, as you can see in the corner. We're going to charge it up here in a second, and we're going to see if it really does glow in the dark. Alright, perfect. So yeah, just peel it off like a sticker. This one's a little bit more feisty without a doubt. But just careful, don't rip it. Just move along the sides. Be very gentle with these things, don't rip them. Take the time, you got nowhere to rush. If you're making a shirt, really take that time and be patient and don't rip it up. Alright, perfect. Now we're going to peel it right off just like this. Put it right back on. Alright, cool. Design is ready to rock and roll. Our shirt's not. So our shirt is the next procedure. We're going to move these scissors out the way, this knife, and we're going to throw our t-shirt right on there. Let's take a peek here. Cool. Alright, cool. So yes, this is a used shirt that I was literally just wearing, but this is a good example to show you how, you don't need anything crazy. This is just a regular premium cotton t-shirt, nothing, not even premium, it's just a cotton t-shirt. I'm pretty sure I picked up just locally. Alright, cool, we're gonna close this one off now. Just gonna give it 1 second, nothing crazy. We're just priming it up, getting rid of the moisture, and make sure that we're able to put our design precisely. Alright, so cool. I'm gonna now let it run, make sure that it's on. Let's see, it's at 276 degrees, so we're already there, halfway, more than halfway. Make sure that there's no hair or no fuzzes on there, of course. Depends on where you work. This is more of a little bit of a side workshop I have in this particular area. But if I was to do a multi-order, you have to really make sure that your space is super clean and that you don't experience any problems whatsoever. Alright, cool. So now our design is ready to be rock and roll. We do have our design right here, and it's in a bubble form, which is kind of interesting to see. Let's see if it's gonna look sick. Just like that, we threw it on and move it around. I do like my back this thing a little bit up front, that way you can make more of an have more accuracy. Alright, cool. Alright. Looks just about straight. Let's go this route. I think that's perfect right here, right where it's at. Always double check, don't rush the grading process. You want to make sure that your design is superb. Now when you get new shirts, they're more structured differently, so you're able to see more. That way you get the straight, but of course, since this one's for me, I'm not gonna go too crazy on it. So now I'm gonna close it off with a heat press and see if it's gonna sit just as good as how they designed. Adhesive paper right here. Throw it on the cloud. As you see, you can position it. Be careful if you have some kind of scissor cuts. Remove those little guys and then throw that on, just like that. Perfect. Perfect. Let's take a peek. Give it just a couple seconds here and let it sit down in its position. Alright, perfect. I'm gonna lift it up. It's at 334 degrees. And once again, you peel this off when it's warm, so we don't wait too long, and we peel it off pretty much right off the bat. Whoa, I think that looks beautiful. Perfect. So it's settled in. We're gonna give it just 1 second to catch its breath, and we're gonna charge up this shirt as well. Make sure that it's ready to roll. Because as soon as this design is done, we're gonna hang this up, and we're gonna see and test if it truly does glow. Let's see if it's really about its business. This one as well. This one's next. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna stretch it out now to give it that stretchiness that we talked about earlier. Longevity wise, this will help the shirt stay, and when you wash it so many times, this will also help it not get messed up to the point where you don't want to wear it anymore. You just got the shirt. You don't want to have to experience that. I do like this bubble. It's pretty cool. Pretty sick design. Cool. Give it a half stretch, because our big stretch is the next one. So just like that, drop it back right again, one more time. Make sure that there's no bubbles in here. Use your adhesive paper and just strip it down over here like this. Perfect. Now it's at 375 degrees. Perfect. I'm going to close it down now. And we're going to give it just about 5 to 10 seconds. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. That way it can heat up properly and we're able to see our design. It's beeping at me because I have a limit set here for a high degree. Alright, perfect. Now, it's the last time. We're going to take it off. Slowly move it away. I'm going to turn the machine off, like always. Let's take a peek. We're going to take this out while it's warm. That way we don't mess up our design. Look at that beauty. Perfect. Okay, so it's starting to look really good. We're going to give it that one last drop, and then we could actually hang it up and see if the power and the light remains inside of there after all. Alright, cool. So I'm going to stretch it out one last time, and then I'm going to provide it the final last heat press, and we're going to see if these shirts are truly about it and if they really do glow as they say they do. We'll find out right now. Alright, perfect. So, enough waiting for that. I'm going to hop right back on. Place this over here so you see. Now I'm going to give it the actual good stretch that it needs. So you're going to give it way more of that strength. And you're going to spread it out way more now. Be careful you don't rip your design. Really make sure that you'll get aligned with the perfect stretch, but be very careful. And stretch as much as you can. Only because it's going to ensure longevity and it's going to look so much better in the long run. As you see, I'm not really afraid. I'm stretching it up really good here. Be careful too how you stretch your shirts. You don't want them to look wrinkled up. Alright, so that's pretty good stretch, I'd say. I mean, can't get any better here. Perfect. So we're going to throw it right back on, and we're going to give it the last heat transfer, and then we're going to hang it up, and we're going to see if these really do glow. Because don't forget, allegedly, these glow in the dark. So as you see, there's a few bubbles, but we don't have to worry about that. We'll get rid of them. Pretty simple. Move this thing around here. Boom. No bubbles underneath. Good. Move this around just like that. Clear it up. Boom. Now it's ready to be heat pressed one more time. And launch it up like this. And we had our machine off as well. That way we don't have to worry about it being too hot. So just like that, I'm launching it in. Now this last one, we're going to give it some more time, but as we said before, this will only help it in the long run, and it's only going to make it look better. Machine is off. Our shirt's right here. Looks like it's been charging up. About to find out if these are any good after all. Alright, cool. So this one's already been pressed enough. I'm gonna move it out now. Perfect. And we don't wait for this thing too long because we don't want to get it hot. So we're gonna take it off right now. Looks beautiful. Perfect. All right. All right, that's perfect. So we're just gonna give it 1 second to catch his breath, and we're gonna now attempt to see if these truly do glow in the dark. It's not dark enough outside, but we're gonna find out regardless. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna charge up this shirt right here, and I'm gonna carry it over so that we can put it in a room and we're able to see if it's truly glow in the dark. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go in a dark room. I'm gonna hang it up. Let's see. We'll just do the closet. Let's put it in the closet. All right, perfect. All right. So now I have it up hanging in the closet. I'm gonna give it just 1 second, and then we're gonna hang it up. As you see, this design turned out pretty well. I'm gonna hang it up on a shirt here, on a hanger. Take a look at that. Perfect. All right. So here we have our design as well. I'm gonna hang it up over here. As you see, it turned out really well. It's actually really straight. Doing this all from the naked eye. It's really straight. It's spot on. Beautiful. And see, this is a shirt now that's ready to rock and roll. I do like this design, the bubbly. All right, perfect. Now for that, let's take a look at our shirts. I have it charging. I do have the shirt charging, and they're out in the closet. Got some light on a little bit here. So let's just give it 1 more minute, and we're able to see if it truly is a glow-in-the-dark process. Thank you guys for everybody who joined me. As you saw, I got to experience for the first time this new paper and to see if it's truly good. The design, I mean, we saw the design. The quality is really good, but our main concern is, does it really glow in the dark? Because we want to know that, of course. That's our main goal here. So as you see, the colors are so vivid that, you know, you can't really complain. You can see everything really well. Really nice. Really nice. Okay, so now let's go take a peek here and find out if it really is glowing after all. So I took the courtesy. I threw it on a closet. So we're going to walk over there together and take a peek to see what we're dealing with here. All right, perfect. All right, so I have it right here in the closet, in the war room, and I'm charging it up as much as I can using my flashlight, because that's apparently the way to do this. So we're gonna charge it up as much as we can, move it around a little, and let's see if this is gonna be any good. All right, perfect. So yes, sunlight does work as well, but you know, you're not always gonna have sunlight. This is intentionally what it's made for. Now let's take a peek. Let's see, we're gonna charge it from one corner to the other one last time. All right, you guys ready? Let's turn off the lights and let's find out to see if it's truly glow in the dark. Ready? Oh no. You can't see anything. I do see a little bit with the human eye, barely. I do believe that if we charge it more, we'll be able to see more. Because as you can see right here, if I move it around, yeah, you can't see it on camera. Barely any light imitating, barely. But there is some features for sure, as I could see. If you really focus in person, you could see it starting to glow. I think we needed more time for it to dry out and maybe charge up a little bit more. I think that's when we'll be able to see if it's gonna glow. So I am gonna do that after all. I'm gonna let it charge up a little bit, and that way, whoever came here to see if it's gonna light up, if it's gonna glow, we're gonna find out today. That way, we won't have any excuses, and we're able to continue up with that. So I'm gonna set up right over there. I'm gonna grab my little stand, and we're gonna head on over there. We're gonna see if it truly does glow in the dark. No worries there. I'll fly over here. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. How do I do this the best way? I'm gonna let it charge from the bottom like here. I'm gonna set up the station right over here. Fix any creases left. Perfect. All right, no worries there. So yes, we're just gonna let it charge up and see where we could go with this charge that it provides. I thought it would glow right away, but maybe with some due time it will. So I'm gonna give it another extra light here. Just let it glow like here. Perfect. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna leave this flashlight right underneath it. All right, and I'm gonna give it some time and see if we're able to give it that proper charge or if not. So let's find out. I'll be back here in a few minutes. Give it some time to charge up, and we'll find out if it's truly gonna work or not. Move it a little closer. I've never used these papers before. These are brand new to me. So I'm doing this all live. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. So we're gonna find out here. First time. But otherwise I do like the colors. I do think everything else is on point. It didn't turn out so bad. We're gonna give it just about less than 5 minutes. And if it doesn't charge up or it takes longer than that, it is what it is. We'll find out. I'll drop a short later, so definitely stay in tune and find out if it glows or not. I thought that these would take a little bit faster, but sometimes it takes some time for these things, and that's okay. So just a couple of minutes and I'll be right back to see if it really did charge up. Perfect. Just a couple more minutes. I do believe that this will glow because if I can see with the naked eye, but the amount of time it might take could be a little bit different than what it says. And that's okay. I mean, that's with most things. That's just how it goes sometimes. I'm going to take a peek at the other shirt to make sure that it's collecting some light as well. Well, we do have this one charging up. This is the other shirt that I made, and I do like the bubbly design. It's not the first one I've made, but definitely it's not a bad route. If you guys are designing shirts, if you're just cutting out squares, don't forget that you can mess around and make bubbles like this. Make it cloudy. Switch them up. This is a SoundCloud design with an actual picture. How about that? All right, perfect. So just a little bit more time, then we're able to see, find out. Just give it literally just 3 minutes. I'll come back exactly at 50, and we'll launch it from there. Oh yeah, I forget that we could just use a flash off here as well. Just use a flash off here. Perfect. Why not? Okay, perfect. Give it a little boost. And let's find out. All right, just about a couple more seconds. Give it some charge, but we don't know how long it might need. It might take a little bit longer, but let's just take a peek. I'm gonna shut the lights off now, and let's see if we have our design with the glow in the dark. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I gotta turn off these. All right, perfect. So in person, it is just a little bit more bright. As you can see in camera, you can't see a thing on there. So definitely needs more time. I don't know if I need to heat press it less, or I don't know if if I overpressed it maybe, burn off some of the fluorescent lights. Let's see if I hang up the other one. Let's see if that one is able to charge up any better than this one. And that's okay, these things happen. No worries whatsoever. As we are testing these, this is the first day ever using this particular product. So results may vary. This is on a used shirt that I was just wearing. But we're still gonna see if the lights are fluorescent enough, if we're able to get them. Maybe I pressed on it just a little bit too much. Maybe that's the case. Whatever the case might be, we're gonna find out and we're gonna see. It's a SoundCloud shirt once again. Alright, so I'm gonna let it charge up here. Nothing crazy. And then we're gonna able to see from there if we reached what we need. All right. Give it some time here. Let's find out to see if we do have any lights left on there. I'm going to shut off the flash on here, and I'm going to shut the flash on here. Let's take a look. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Can't see a thing. It is a little bit bright out there, but you can see a thing in person anyways. So I think the problem is that we might have to have it charge up way longer than expected, and maybe I should heat press it less. So I will get down to this and figure out what the problem is and what the solution is as well. That way we're able to identify that problem and to see that. Perfect. I'm gonna move this out the way. So this one had a way better of a story right here. Vitaly, I believe Nico's on. Nico, what's going on? Glad you have you tuned in. Is someone going to win something? Always. Always winning something. You drop a Qula and you're your winner. My next live stream, I'm doing a bunch of free shirts. So if you basically, all the Qualas have been dropped from the past live streams and everything, I just look through them and I select winners based off that. This thing keeps moving. So yes, we just got to let this thing charge up a little bit more. And we're going to see if the lights truly did change. Perfect. All right. Cool. So yeah, we're just going to give it just a few seconds here and see if it's any good. Nico, what you up to? How you doing? All right, it's gonna drop it down. Perfect. All right, perfect. Give it some heat here. All right. Yeah, just a few more seconds. As we've seen, they do get a little bit better when we charge them up like this, but that might be just the solution here. Yellow layer. I hope I win one. Yes, sir. Let's get your shirt. Let's get your design. Set you one up. So I believe, Nico, I believe you have this particular one, if I'm not mistaken. You had a white one. Literally the same exact design. So that's funny. But I'm making this glow in the dark edition. So we're gonna see if it's gonna glow. So far I haven't had success. Only in the human eye you can see it glow. Alright, so I'm gonna give it just about 30 seconds. And the stream is down. We're only down to we're closing out at 7 p.m. So just less than 6 minutes remaining on the stream. Just testing out these products and seeing if they're any good. All right, so let's turn off the lights now. Let's take a look and see if it's gonna close down. I'm size 10, 12 kids. Okay, sounds good. I think that's a medium. All right, so I'm gonna turn off the lights now on both ends. All right, you guys ready? Boom, shut these lights off. All right, perfect. Charlie, you can give it to me at church. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I see, I see. Vitaly, I thought you were somebody else completely. That's why that makes sense now. Vitaly. Oh, so you are a size 10 to 12 kids. Okay. I think, yeah, I mean, that's I'm pretty sure that's a extra, either extra small or small. Depends on which kind of variants you look at. Vitaly, no. Yes. Oh, you dropped. That's awesome. All right, perfect. All right, Vitaly. Yeah, Vitaly, I'm gonna have another stream this week. If you hop on it, if I see your Qula, you're getting a free shirt instantly. I just gotta go get your specific size. I gotta go figure that out. But on my next stream, just hop on and I'll get your shirt. All right, let's take a look here and find out if we're able to see any glow in the dark situations. Once again, nothing. I do in the eye, I see a little bit of improvement, and that's it. That's it. but that's okay. So I'm gonna let this design charge up, and I'm talking about over an hour. Maybe it needs more time to cool off, or maybe it needs less heating press going on. That way we're able to see it glow. And thank you guys for joining me. I got just a couple more minutes here, and I'll be closing off. But as Vitaly was saying, I do give out free shirts if you join my live stream, drop some koalas, or if you drop koalas on my Snapchat and actually join in and send me screenshots. I've had just a couple of people do that, and for whatever reason, that counts too. I'll be making some free shirts as well from my koala store and from here as well. All these shirts are going to be available for sale, but if you as long as you keep joining in, if you I'll see you, drop some comments, and we'll be giving out those for free. So perfect. Okay. So yeah, so last thing I'm going to show you guys is just the heat press, how it went down, and what kind of printer I use to make all these designs. So let's take a peek here. I'm going to move you guys over. So yes, this one's going to charge up. This one's ready to go. Me. All right, perfect. All right, let's walk on over there. Vitaly, that is you, yes, for sure. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's take a peek.